Alright, it's the next day. It is day 3 in Lithuania, and I'm leaving. I am leaving Kaunas to head to the capital, Vilnius. But before I do that, I've got one last thing that I want to do, and this is exploring Lithuania's Dark Past or Dark History. I'm not too sure what the title will be just yet. But today I'm going to the Ninth Fort, which is like a fortress slash museum, all to do with like the Nazis and the Soviet occupation. It's to do with the history of Lithuania as a country. And I'm very, very excited to be exploring this. I think it's going to be a very interesting and kind of sad experience to look through. It's going to be similar to kind of Poland in terms of the historical legacy, I guess, and to see just what happened in Lithuania, because everyone's kind of talk about what happened in Poland and Czechoslovakia and etc., but no one has really talked about the Soviet occupation of Lithuania or Estonia or Latvia, etc. So yeah, I'm going to be heading to the Ninth Fort. It has this beautiful kind of like stone fortress, it looks like, and I'm just going to be exploring Lithuania's legacy. So yeah, I'm very, very excited, and I'm now on the way to the bus stop. I was going to catch a taxi, a Bolt, but I just thought, hey, it's my last day here. I might as well use the public transport. And it's not my last day here, because it's not my last day here, because tomorrow, I'm staying in Vilnius, the capital, tonight, but then tomorrow morning I'm coming back here to Kaunas, because that's where I'm flying from. So yeah, I'm also flying to a very interesting destination. I'm not flying straight home because it was more expensive that way. I'm flying to, well, I'm having a layover basically, so it's going to be very interesting to show you where this layover is going to be. So yeah, I'm going to go catch this bus. I think I've got a little while. I might still be catching a Bolt just yet. I'm not too sure. It just all depends if I can, catch the bus on time and how long it will take me, because I do, I want to get into the capital relatively early, since the sun goes down like 3:50 here, and I want to make the most of my day, and I've got a few things that I want to do, and it requires like daylight. So I'm going to try and get there quite early and not really waste the day away. I've got a lot of things to do. It's my last full day and I want to make the most of it. So yeah, I'm going to go walk to the bus stop, the one that I walked to yesterday, and yeah, go catch the bus. That's the bus stop where I'm going to be catching a bus to the Ninth Fort. I just came out of the shop. I've still got my duty-free bag from the airport, but I'm just using it to hold like my liquids bag and stuff, because I do not have enough room. I don't know if you can see. My bag is pretty full, so there's like no room in it. But I'm going to try and show you what I bought. I had to ask the guy to help me because I had no clue which ones was which, and then I feel like he definitely pressed the more expensive one when I didn't get that. So a bit of a scammer, but okay. So I am catching the 57, which is to come higher, which is in 6 minutes time. So you can see up there. First thing I bought a smoothie, so I got banana, blueberry, raspberry, pomegranate, apple and banana. Banana really doesn't think it's in English, so it's probably, also they probably charge me more. This was like €2.40, it said I think it was like €1.20, so I don't know what was happening there. So I got a normal just croissant, but I think these have this has a filling in it, and then this one has some red thing in it, so I don't know if it's strawberry or raspberry. And I saw that, I was like, what is that? So yeah, I just got some pastries and a smoothie. I didn't want to get a coffee, but I'll just probably get one when I get to the fort, because I couldn't find a coffee machine in there. So yeah, but time is currently 10:52, if you can see up there. So I kind of wanted to be leaving Kaunas for 12 or 1, so I'm hoping that I can get on this bus. Obviously if it's later, it's later. I'm not going to rush me exploring and stuff, but yeah, I wanted to leave relatively early and get there quite early. I want to get into Vilnius for 1 or 2 later, so yeah, I just have to see when that happens. But the bus is in 4 minutes, and I want to show you how I got on the bus as well. It's pretty cool, because you have to top up this bank thing, this app, and you just scan a QR code, so I kind of want to show that. Thank you. Alright, so I've just got off the bus. I'm like in the middle of nowhere. I'm literally just by the motorway. But apparently, this is where the 9th Fort is. Right by the motorway. If you can see behind me, it's literally just like motorway and underpasses. So I don't know. Oh, there it is. I think that's the 9th Fort over there. So I presume I go down here. But I'm in Russia. Cool. It's not dodgy at all. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to go to 9th Fort. I'm kind of on alert now because, like, every time I get off the bus and stuff, I gotta think, do I have all my belongings? Because when I was just leaving my stuff, I didn't have to worry about that. But now that I'm on the move, if I leave anything behind, it's like, that's it. So I got one chance at everything. A bit like life, I guess. This is such a cool building, oh my god. If it's not open, I'm gonna be very, very, very sad. But, okay. So it looks like we're about to enter the 9th Fort of Kaunas, Lithuania. I'm very, very excited. I'm really hoping it's open. But yeah, let's explore Lithuania's history, its legacy. Let's go. It looks like there's no entry that way, right? So what, this way is it? It looks like there's things up here. It's gone so cold as well. The view from here is incredible. You can see like the entire city. I feel like if anyone's ever played Subnautica, the game, I feel like I'm at that place on that island, at this place here. Okay, so you've got the monument to commemorate the victims of Nazism, and the 9th Fort, and the ticket office is up here. This is a very, very cool place. You even got a, oh wow, that's the fort over there. Wow. I'm gonna go to the fort first. I'm gonna explore the 9th Fort. The ticket office is over that way, but I wanna go to the 9th Fort first, which is just all the way over there. There's also some sort of building over there. It is so cold. It literally feels like it's like minus temperatures out here. It feels so, so cold. Like, feels like it's at least 1 degrees. I don't know if I'd say this, but I'm gonna be actually happy to go back to England for the weather. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a very, very memorable experience, a very important experience too. I'm glad I got to come here. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do it, and it would have been really sad if I couldn't have come here. There is no way it's 5 degrees. That's gotta be a lie. I'm really hoping it's not all outside because I'm freezing. I want to go inside. And then again, but then again, I'm saying that as if these people, these poor people, didn't have to be out in this freezing cold with nothing. Walkers' freedom walks. That's really interesting. The children's games hopscotch is like a metaphor for being a small screw in the system, being sought and destroyed without reason. It's about the love of the homeland, longing for loved ones, faith and hope and memories of childhood that gave the exiles the strength to survive and allowed them to preserve their national identity. Oh, that's really sad. Like a children's game, but mixed with that brutality of... yeah, that's really sad. Wow, I was wondering what that noise is, and it's these things up here, look. Man, it's a much more difficult walk than you would have expected. Jesus, maybe I'm just unfit, but it's actually a pretty decent walk. Christian Liberté Boltanski was born on September the 6th, 1944. During the Second World War, his Jewish father was hiding and living on the floor of their flat. The Ninth Fort, where 30,000 European Jews were executed, oh wow, is connected to the artist's family trauma. Boltanski's antimatus, Kaunas, consists of several hundred Japanese bells attached to metal rods so that they reflect the constellation of the night sky on the artist's birthday. When the bells move, they produce sound which, according to the author, may be compared to the music of souls. The work is named after roadside shrines commemorating the relatives that have passed away. With this work, Boltanski expresses a desire to unite heaven and earth. He invites us to remember all the people who have been lost. That's so beautiful. I love the idea that this is the music of the souls as well. That every sound, every jingle is a soul. It's so beautiful. And how it it's never the same sound, it always changes. What's this? Okay, something really creepy is happening here. I don't know if I'm just hearing things or whatever, but I've gone to look behind me a few times now because I've heard a footstep behind me and there's been nobody there. I don't know I don't know if I'm just imagining things, but honestly, I keep turning around because I feel like I keep thinking someone's walking behind me and oh, sorry, and there's no one there. It's very strange. And it goes to show the power of this place. I'm not even saying that to be a clickbaity YouTuber. I genuinely just kept thinking of someone behind me. Eternal remembrance of the victims of fascism. Wow, that's amazing. This has got to be one of the most impressive kind of structures that I've ever seen. Don't get me wrong, I've seen very grand structures, but just the style of this one is incredible. It's very brutal. It's very brutalist, but it depicts a lot, to be fair, about the brutality of Nazism, the war. Site of mass murder and burial of victims. During the Nazi occupation, 1941 to 1944, approximately 50,000 people were killed and buried in this field. Approximately 30,000 of them were Jews. Wow, so this is the field where 50,000 people died. God, that's so sad. It's honestly just so tragic. You don't even realise now in a modern world just how tragic it really was. Monument to memory of the victims of Nazism by Alphonsus Visantas Ambrosius. The 32-metre high concrete monument consists of 3 sculptural groups symbolising pain, hope and liberation. Oh, that's amazing. So you got the pain here, like I was saying, the very brutalist kind of structures, and then hope and liberation. I think that's so beautiful. Just the detail put into that is incredible. The thing is, I was going to go onto the field here, but I think they said that's where the people died, and I do not want to go onto it. I think it's built on there as a kind of... Then again, I don't know if it's a separate field. I feel like it's just that one there. But I do not want to disrespect anything here. What a beautiful... It's not even beautiful, it's just harrowing, really. But yeah, this has been a very interesting kind of harrowing experience so far. It's been really, really nice to learn about, I don't know, some Lithuanian history. Like I said earlier, everyone knows about Poland and atrocities committed in the Holocaust and Auschwitz and all the concentration camps and how horrible it was, but we can't forget even the lesser known things like this, like the Ninth Fort, where sure it's 50,000 compared to millions, but it's still 50,000 people with mothers and fathers and brothers, you know, and it's like, it's very important to remember. And I think the Ninth Fort, like the structure behind me over there, is a beautiful way to commemorate them, and to commemorate the what's it called, the, what was it? It was the something. It was like the pain, the hope, and the liberation. I think it's a beautiful way to commemorate it. And again, just like the art displays, like over there, the music of the souls. I think, yeah, it's a beautiful way to commemorate the people that died and the people that had to face all these atrocities committed during the reign of Hitler, and just how horrible it truly was. And I think it's very important to remember this, and I'm very, very grateful to be here. I felt the same way when I was at Auschwitz, going through the concentration camps, and just really, it puts your morality into focus, and it really makes you realize that this did go on. These atrocities and these horrible, horrible things did happen, and they still happen today, and it's just being aware of it and kind of remembering the past, because if we don't remember the past, I don't think we can really ever truly live. Soviet soldiers perished on the fields of the Ninth Fort. This must have been when, when the Nazis attacked the Soviet Union and then enslaved all the Soviets in the rush to Moscow. In sorrow and shame and appalled by the silence of the bystander at the provincial capital of Bavaria, Munich commemorates the 1,000 Jewish men and women who were deported on 20th of November 1941 from Munich to Kaunas and brutally murdered at the site 5 days later. Here, the remains of 50,000 people, Russian, Jews, Lithuanians and brothers, killed by the Nazis, are buried. It's crazy to think about that. There is 50,000 skeletons, if not more, unaccounted for in this one field. So horrible, really. This is the place where Nazis and their assistants killed more than 30,000 Jews from Lithuania and other European countries. Behind me there is a way on top of that thing, I think, over there. Or it goes around the thing a bit more, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go and get my ticket from the ticket office and go in the main thing, because my battery is low as well. But I kind of want to explore the main camp here and dive into the history. Ooh, it's cold. Okay, so I just spent like the past 10-15 minutes just sitting down. I just got a coffee, changed the batteries on this camera, went to the toilet and put my bag away, so I've got no huge bag on me now and I'm just free to go. So I also bought my ticket, which is literally just a receipt, which is quite odd. So got my, I don't know if it says it, but got my ticket right there. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Ninth Fort now. I'm going to get to, I'm going to get to Vilnius later than I anticipated, later than I would have liked to. But there's a train at 11:18 and there's also one at 2:55. It's currently about half, there's a train at
1:13 or 1, it's like 1:13 or 1:18, and it's currently about 12:30 now, so I'm not going to make it in time considering it takes about 20 minutes to get there. Plus I want to spend actual time around going around the ninth fort, so I am going to be getting into Vilnius a little bit later than anticipated, unfortunately, and hopefully it's still light, because if I catch a 2:55 one, when I checked online, it said that the sunset was at like 3:50. So if I get into Vilnius at like, I don't know, 4:10, the sun would have gone down like 10-15 minutes ago. So yeah, I don't know, we'll have to see, because I wanted to go to this certain thing in the capital Vilnius, which I will save for a later video. I'm very, very excited. But I don't know if it will necessarily work if it's not daytime. But it's the only chance I have, because I have to leave the capital relatively early. I need to be at Kaunas airport for, I could probably do 11, but my flight is at 12:30 tomorrow. So I gotta be leaving, I think, at like 10 from Vilnius, sorry. So I might have time if I get up super early at like 7 to go to where I'm on about, but I don't know, I have to see. But here we are, we're at the ninth fort, and yeah, I'm about to go in. I've got the ticket receipt.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you. Just that way, thank you. That's so interesting. It's been around since the 1915s. It's captured with a German.
So beginning over here.
Beginning from.
Position. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going upstairs to see the second and third floor. Come back and then.
Okay. Thank you. Kaunas Fortress Evolution. It's so interesting because in the second decade of the Russian Empire's strategy had to switch from attack to defense, and therefore that's why there's so many fortresses, because they switched from fortresses in Europe, whereas the United Kingdom. Division of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, which took place in 1795, had allowed the Russian Empire to annex the large areas of Eastern Europe. First Russian fortresses in Lithuanian and Polish lands were built after the uprising of 1830 to 1831. These fortifications had to carry out policing functions, and the cannons were more directed towards the civilian population of Warsaw, Vilnius, and towards potential troops of the enemy. You can see the Russian Empire and its fortresses. You've got Kaunas, Altus. You've got all the Polish ones as well. I didn't know there was one in Turin. That's where I was recently. It's so interesting, the different countries, as that was the German Empire back then. Parts of modern day Poland now, Wrocław, Poznan, it was all part of Germany, Bydgoszcz. That's very interesting. German Empire's forts, you got to protect them from France. Strasbourg, I did not know Strasbourg was German. I mean, it sounds German. And then got all these ones. Austria-Hungary. That's so interesting that Austria-Hungary was actually, like, it had Krakow. It wasn't Poland, it wasn't Russia. It's like in the middle of the three. That's so interesting for that time. That must be the old Russian ruble. Rubli, Pietisiet rubli, 50 rubles. Project of the Ninth Fort. The Ninth Fort is a pentagon-shaped and single rampart fortification built on the basis of typical fort projected by Professor Konstantin Velichko in 1897. So interesting. They have so many of these in Kaunas and in Lithuania as a whole. Project of the Ninth Fort. It's so crazy. I think that's what it used to look like. I mean, if you watch my last video, I went there at night, and I would not recommend it. It was the creepiest thing ever. Got a little diagram here. It literally just blends in so well, and that's, I guess, what the point was, and that's why it worked so well. Crazy that most of these people are actually just, what's it called, it says, member of the Lithuanian National Union. They're all just like people with education, you know. He was a lawyer, he was an employee at the forest department. Most of these people just went against the system and suffered because of it. The ninth fort, the branch of Kaunas, hard labour prison, 1924 to 1940. Members of the editorial staff of Politikalinis, the political prisoner. Handwritten magazine of the political prisoner of the ninth fort. 7 numbers were published. Wow. So this is definitely more like a political kind of prison for ideological deserters more than like any other reason. That's cool. The wet punishment cell. The punishment cell was set up when the ninth fort was reconstructed to a prison in 1924. As this was the wettest room in the ninth fort, its name as the wettest cell spreads among the prisoners. When it was raining or when snow was melting, water was seeping through the walls and the ceiling was accumulating on the floor. The prisoner was imprisoned here for up to 1 week. Food given per day was 200 grams of food and 1 liter of water. Damn, that's like nothing. That's just horrendous. Can you imagine being locked in here for days upon days with 200 grams of food and a litre of water? That's got to be one of the most inhumane things you could do. Yeah, it's crazy. Especially in the conditions here that he gets in the winter. What horrific conditions these guys had to suffer through. Oh wow, it's massive, look. Life of prisoners in the ninth fort during the interwar period. Where clogs the prisoners. The fact that it was basically wood, like they basically wore nothing. I mean, not the same, but there's a book by this Russian author called A Day in the Life of Ivan something I read, and it's just kind of, I'm imagining this walking through here. Obviously, it was set in Siberia, not Lithuania, but it still has the same kind of feel. Yeah, it's very difficult to imagine this, like, to think people were here and people were just prisoners and trapped here. It's horrific, really, and it's very difficult in the modern brain to put yourself in the position, even throughout wars and civil wars right now in time, it's very difficult to ground yourself in the atrocities, the genocides, the brutality that these kids went through, you know, adults and kids, like all these people, what they had to suffer through, how difficult their life would have been during this time, like forced to stay in places like this. It's horrible, really. And that's why it's so important to remember it. French Jews were deported from Dranky. Concentration camp to the Baltic states occupied by Germany. That's just horrible, how they were just sent all the way from France to the Baltic states. Like, they had no... Just taken away from their families, taken away from their homes. My French isn't the best, but it says les Allemands ne voulaient laisser au contraire de ces hommes. Les photos et les noms présentés ici sont supposés que les familles ont été retrouvées en France et dans le monde. Ces familles ont publié leur témoignage dans un ouvrage intitulé Nous sommes 900 Français. Ce qu'il est d'inscriptions graves seulement par les déportés et que le pouvoir durer la vie. Les familles amis des déportés to Convés 73, Paris, France. That's crazy how far they had to go from Paris,
there all the way. The crazy thing is how it only took them 3 days actually. They left on the 15th, arrived on the 18th. What a long journey. Yeah, it's very sad. And obviously this is called Convoy 73. In June 1941, as soon as Nazi Germany occupied Kaunas, mass killings of Jews began in the city, caused great fear and chaos, and the Kaunas ghetto was established. It's honestly really scary to think about. Imagine your entire life just hiding out. I really need to read Anne Frank's diary, but just imagine living under the wooden boards. God, this place is like a maze. The punishments, oh my god, that is the punishment cell. The punishment cell was set up when the ninth floor was reconstructed. Concrete sack of concrete coffin because of its shape. I cannot imagine. I wonder if this is the blood from years and years and years ago. People that was here. Man, that is so scary. I always find that kind of scary, the idea that I'm standing here right now, but all those years ago someone was locked in there and died there. And then all this time later, I'm here. It's a really weird thought. It's a really weird. 64 prisoners escaped through this door on December 25th, 1943. Well, hey, I think that's the best Christmas miracle they could have asked for, to be fair. That's incredible. So many people helped, and look at that. He sheltered and rescued 16 Jews. All of these are the Lithuanian people that save people. Whoever saves one life is as though he has saved the entire world. I'm seeing that on Oskar Schindler's Factory. And I think it's very, very true. What an incredible thing. Consul under the Netherlands and the Japanese attempted to help the prisoners seeking for escape. Saved about 6,000 Lithuanian, Polish and German Jews. What an incredible thing. That's incredible. So sad really, just families and couples and kids just killed, and for what really? If you think we're here, we don't know our reason, we're just living our lives, and these times people just being killed and taken in the most unfair, unjust ways simply because for what? For ideology, for fascism, for communism. It's so wrong, it's so disgusting. When we were trees.
So yeah, that was the 9th fort. That was exploring Kaunas' 9th fort to do with the history of the mass killings, the history of the fort itself, from German records in 1300s to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth to the Russian Empire and its forts. So much history. And yeah, it was a very interesting museum. One of the best museums I've been to in a while, to be fair. I really enjoy historical museums like that, and learning about just things like Convoy 73, I think it was, and all the French men that was just deported, hundreds and hundreds of them, to the Baltic states within 3 days with no water, no food. And also how this camp was used for political prisoners, and how the history kind of goes into everywhere you explore. I like coming to Lithuania because it's not really talked about, it's not really explored, but like it said back in the fortress, 9,000 Jews were killed in one day, and this was a site of mass killings and mass war crimes committed by the Nazis during the war. And yeah, I think it was a very important, very harrowing, but a very incredible experience. I'm very grateful and glad to have come to 9th Fort and to explore it. So I definitely recommend, if you're in Lithuania and if you're going to Kaunas, to come to 9th Fort, explore and just take it all in, because it's a very important thing to do, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that has been exploring the 9th Fort, or exploring Lithuania's legacy and past. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video, but yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed. And I'm going to go and catch the train now and head to Vilnius for my next videos. So yeah, I will catch you there, but it's been a great morning and afternoon exploring the 9th Fort.